Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about adaptogens because in my last What I Ate in a Day video, you guys had a resounding response in the comments saying that you wanted me to talk a little bit about the adaptogens that I take, particularly for depression and anxiety. So that's what this video is going to be. But before I start, I'm going to talk about what they are and how they work, and then give you 5 adaptogens that are most commonly used for anxiety and depression. So if you don't already know, adaptogens are actually just plants. They're plants that boost your resilience to stress. So it can mean insomnia, muscle aches, allergic reactions, feeling hungover, anxiety, depression, any kind of stress that manifests itself in your body or in your mind. So as opposed to modern medicine, they don't just target one organ. They actually help your body overall be brought back into balance. They let your body achieve a state of homeostasis and support your overall health. They've been used for thousands of years in ancient healing practices and were actually originally called tonics. So how adaptogens actually work is by bringing the body back into balance and by normalizing the bodily system and functions. The crazy thing about adaptogens is that they kind of have this dual effect. So for example, they can calm you down if you have anxiety whilst giving you energy. Because experts don't know how this happens both at the same time, and they can't figure out a way to make modern medicine replicate the same effect, they think that adaptogens have a sort of intelligence of their own, but they have figured out how the plants have these effects in the first place. Why plants would source humans with this stress relief is because they actually make it for themselves, because most of these plants, the adaptogens, are actually wild to extremely adverse climate. So because they grow in harsh climates, the adaptogens are actually for themselves because they go through a lot of stress in their lifetime. So by ingesting them, we're ingesting their stress relief hormones as well. So how an adaptogen is different from other herbal remedies is by balancing and normalizing these 8 functions. So I've actually got a little list here of the 8 functions that they balance and normalize. The first one is stress hormone production, also the neurotransmitter production, adrenal function, inflammation response, nervous system, immune function, blood sugar metabolism, and energy levels. So the most common and popular adaptogen for relieving depression and exhaustion and boosting your immunity is ginseng. If you do a quick internet search for an adaptogen that helps with depression, one of the first ones that come up is always going to be ginseng. Now I'm going to put a little disclaimer on this one because this is one that I haven't used before, and that is because when in the past I have suffered with depression, it's also teamed with anxiety, and ginseng isn't so great for anxiety because it gives you lots of energy and it quickens your heart rate, which is great for depression sometimes, but not so great for anxiety. So if you do suffer from depression mixed with anxiety, I would maybe give this one a skip. Now there is a milder form called American ginseng, which doesn't have such a drastic effect on anxiety and insomnia if you do still want to give it a try. So the next 4 adaptogens I have in my cupboard and I use on a regular basis and I absolutely love. The first one is ashwagandha. You probably would have seen me use this multiple times on my Instagram stories, in my photos, and on this channel in previous videos. Ashwagandha is an ancient healing herb that has been used in Indian healing ceremonies for thousands of years. So all adaptogens relieve stress, but ashwagandha is known as like the holy grail of the stress relieving adaptogen world. There have actually been many studies on it and they show that it can significantly reduce depression, anxiety and insomnia. It is shown to reduce stress by 44%, by reducing cortisol, which is the stress hormone, by 28%. That is absolutely huge, and that's why I like to take ashwagandha on a quite regular basis just to keep my hormone levels in check. So I do like to add it to drinks and smoothies and tea, and make sure that I'm taking it quite regularly as more of a preventative measure and just to keep my cortisol levels lowered. Maca is also a great stress relieving adaptogen. You would also have seen me use this a lot on Instagram and on this channel because it tastes really, really great. Unlike ashwagandha that's got a little bit of an obnoxious smell, maca actually smells really sweet and malty and can add a really great taste of flavor your smoothie and your porridge and whatever you want to add it to. It's absolutely packed with antioxidants and is probably most famous for its aphrodisiac effect, but it also helps to regulate hormones and is actually really great if you're feeling tired and run down and worn out and stressed out. It's also really great if you suffer from PMS or if you're going through the menopause. So women, this is a great one to get your hands on. So the next adaptogen is saffron, and it was actually traditionally used as a herbal remedy before it was even used as a spice or a dye. And today it's still commonly used for mothers who are suffering from postpartum depression because it's a great way to relieve your depression and your anxiety without taking pharmaceutical drugs, which will then be in your body, and if you're breastfeeding, go into your baby as well. So it's a really safe way to get the antidepressant effect. You can obviously still cook with saffron, but that will give you a very small amount. In the past I have taken supplements, I've taken pills with saffron in them as an alternative to antidepressant medication. The last adaptogen I'm going to talk about today is called holy basil, or it's otherwise known as Tulsi. This one is great for boosting your immunity, which is why it's also known as the elixir of youth, which in turn actually relieves stress and fatigue, which is why it's also great for people who are stressed out, worn out, maybe anxious and depressed. This one's very gentle and mild and is great to take as tea, which is how I take it on a regular basis, just to kind of calm your nervous system at the end of a long, hard day. It also balances and regulates your blood pressure, your blood sugar levels, and also your hormonal balance. So those are the adaptogens that I've taken in the past and I still currently take on a regular basis just to keep my hormone levels in check and to keep depression and anxiety at bay, because I'm a firm believer that instead of treating ailments, we should be preventing them through just a healthy way of living and just conscious wellness and a holistic approach, rather than waiting to get ill and then slamming yourself with drugs that have a harmful knock-on effect. So if you guys like this kind of video and are interested in more of these kind of videos, then give this video a thumbs up and I can absolutely show you more. And don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, bye.